once again to the Forward Compatible Podcast. This is episode 110, part 1 for March 16th, 2014. My name's Tony. I'm joined, as always, by my fellow podcasters, Jason. And a long... How long's it been? About a year?
It's been
Probably.
John, you want to tell everybody about yourself again, good sir?
Hi, I'm John. I've known these guys for a very long time. Jason.
Yes.
Oh, Jason.
I love telling that story about how he was like this little when he walked into the store to buy his PSP and he didn't have enough money, so I took like $2 out of my pocket.
I used to
A
shop...
stack of games.
I
this big.
used to buy stuff off this guy
Yeah.
When he'd bring it in to trade it in?
at a video game retailer way back in the day.
Yes, said video game retailer.
Said
What
video
would you
game
buy from him?
retailer.
Drugs?
Yes.
Yes. I was 15.
Well, I suppose we could kick off the show with our weekly roundtable. Why
Yeah.
not?
Hold on, because I have an announcement to make.
Okay.
See, I like that. I don't even tell him anymore. I just throw him these
He
curveballs.
just fucking does this shit.
Let's see here. Sunday, March 30th of this year, okay, at 6 p.m. at the Public House Theater, which is located at 3914 North Clark Street. There's an event called Press Start to Drink.
Oh, yes, I do know that.
Yes, Chicago Loot Drop is sponsoring it. It's a charity event. What they're doing is they're doing two movies. They're doing Scott Pilgrim, and then they're doing Wreck-It Ralph. So 2 video game movies, back to back, full bar, and it's for a charity. So I know I'm going to be there. So
it's
we're
on
gonna
a
have.
Saturday, so I will
It's a
not.
Sunday.
It's a Sunday?
It's a Sunday, so we're gonna have
Then
to.
I'll be there.
We're gonna have to rearrange our recording schedule.
Okay.
But it's at 6 p.m., so it's early enough. So we'll be out of there by like 10:30.
Okay, rock
So,
on.
but yeah, we're gonna go. We're gonna watch the movies.
We
have
could
some
do
drinks.
something like we did last week and do part 2 from there.
We could. We'll reach out to them and see what they want to do. But yeah, we're gonna be there for that. So
Cool.
I'm also going to be at the Sci-Fi convention, which is the day before. It's the Chicago Sci-Fi
You
convention.
got a busy weekend.
Yeah,
there.
I'm gonna be there with Gamers Gathering.
Nice.
Now Ace is gonna bark.
All right.
So now we can kick off.
The show with a weekly roundtable and catch everybody up on what we've been playing since the last time we all spoke.
Well, since Mark's not here, and it'd be rude to make the guest go first, I'll go first.
Okay.
I've been playing Titanfall. Been playing Titanfall.
How was it?
You want to know how it is? You should go check out our video on YouTube.
I watched a little bit of
Where
it.
I do a review. It's good. It is. I never thought that I'd get back into a Call of Duty style, fast-paced first-person shooter. I do have a couple of little gripes with it. Again, I really wish that it would have, at least on some level, some destructible environments. Would make the mechs even cooler. But overall, with the parkour and the jetpacks and the giant mechs, it's a lot of fun. It's. I don't want to spoil anything, even though I came out right in the video and say it. There's a campaign.
Yeah.
It's not very long, but there's a campaign. And it's really cool. Apparently, with some of the DLC, there's going to be some giant monsters and stuff that are going to be attacking both teams and everything. So it sounds like it's going to be really cool.
Good time?
Yeah, but it's a lot of fun. It is. Angry Andy is level 44.
It's ridiculous.
I did hop on the live stream one night for like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
And
We were broadcasting from the Xbox One via Twitch because that updated.
About goddamn time.
Of course, he refused to put on the mic or the camera, so it was just gameplay. So I was sitting on the couch on my phone chatting with everybody that was watching.
Oh, okay.
So we were chatting with everybody while he was playing. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I know. I called you a chump, and then you were gone.
yeah.
Which one's yours? Which one's mine? Mine's the regular?
Mine's cherry.
Yeah.
All right.
How about yourself, good sir? What'd you play this week?
My Vita's been getting some love.
Oh, yeah?
I
Getting all up in there?
Yeah. I downloaded that Ratchet and Clank Full Frontal Assault finally.
Is that out?
It's been out for a while.
No, I have the PS3.
And it's got the crossbuy on it.
Yeah. And it was broken for like 9 years.
Right. No, you can finally get it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I finally downloaded that onto it. It's not bad. It's okay.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's the worst Ratchet and Clank ever.
Yeah. Probably.
Still an okay game.
Worst in the franchise.
It really is. It really is.
I downloaded the Need for Speed for the Vita because it was $5 on sale.
I got that too.
It's bad.
Which
I
Need
didn't
for
play
Speed
it.
is it?
The one for Most Wanted.
I think
It's the only one that came out on Vita.
Yeah, it's badass.
They had
It's
that
fun.
Need for Speed sale last week where everything was $5, so I got the Vita one.
So I've been playing that. Playing a lot of StarCraft.
Mm.
I enjoyed my StarCraft.
Still have that.
Why are you back on StarCraft?
Because, man, it's fun.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It's all about that Heart of the Swarm.
Yeah, all about it.
Mm.
You do Diablo also?
I have Diablo. I played it until about level 20, level 30, a couple acts. I couldn't get into it.
It's not that good.
I really couldn't. My friends are really into it. They're back on it for the new expansion.
It's coming out like right around the corner here, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so they're all on it. They're giving you like 50% bonus
Mhm.
XP now until it comes out. So I'm still not going to buy it.
No.
I'm waiting for it to come out on the PS4 so I can remote stream it to my Vita. But that's about it.
So that's the whole purpose for you having a PS4, just to...
Yep.
Yep. I was playing Battlefield on it, playing some Resogun. Yeah, it's awesome.
Good times.
Cool.
As for myself, I beat South Park: The Stick of Truth. Man, that game's awesome.
All right.
I was supposed to bring it to me
I was
today.
supposed to bring it to him. He's like, bring it over. I'm like, yeah, I got your back, Jason. I forgot it. I forget everything.
Supposed to bring his laptop and his tablet so I could fix it for him.
Oh, that's right.
Important stuff.
I forgot everything today. But yeah, it's really good. It's really good, especially if you're a South Park fan. My God, what a funny game. Especially the end. If somebody out there's playing it, let me know when you get to the end because I want to talk to somebody about it. My God.
Well, Mark's playing it.
And then Mark's so slow.
I know, he's not even here today.
So slow.
Go baseball draft!
Oh, I had mine earlier.
Yeah?
I popped in for 2 seconds and left.
I'll
It's
draft that
auto-pick.
shit.
Yeah.
And then toward the end of the week, I finished Walking Dead on Vita. So I gotta say, still a good game. Telltale still doesn't know how to make games run well. It doesn't matter on the platform. It's another platform where the game runs like shit. And it's not as emotional the second time through.
Really?
When you know what's coming. It's just, I remember the first time feeling really bad. And I think that's why I wanted to stay away from playing it a second time.
I'm pretty sure I rolled a tear.
Yeah, I didn't get that far, but
yeah.
it's probably one of the closest I came to from a video game. And then the second time through, you just kind of immune to it. It's just like, oh, okay, whatever. But I got the platinum on that, and that brought me up to Friday, and then Saturday I had to work, and now it's Sunday. I didn't play anything the last 2 days. That's
Except
about
yourself. Flappy
Well,
Tony!
that's every day.
Flappy Tony!
Flappy Tony! So, this upcoming week, I know I'm going to go back to finish Remember Me. I'm probably going to start Need for Speed on the Vita.
Yeah. Are you on Titanfall? Am I supposed to kick that over to you at some point?
Keep it our week. Okay.
Before I get South Park?
Let Andy level cap. so I'll be by tomorrow.
He's not even here. It'll still happen. You got the news, yeah?
Oh, that's right. News!
Dirty, sexy, news.
So Mark's not here,
Clearly.
so I'm taking care of news.
This is going to be a disaster.
I'm a very good news and it was a shit week. Nothing happened, and I still pulled 5 excellent stories. All right, number 5. The dude Stallion83, who we've talked about a few times on this show, finally hit 1 million gamer score this week. He broke the world record, and the achievement was a 50.1 from Titanfall. I couldn't find which achievement he popped, but I did find out it was worthy of 50 games.
Okay. That's good. Good for him. So at least we know there's somebody out there who's got less of a life than Angry Andy.
Well, apparently not. Apparently he's got a girlfriend. Because I was reading this thingy on him. And he's
They
getting
did a whole little video on him during the
because everybody picks him
Xbox
apart
launch.
in all the comments. It was like, oh, dude has no life. Oh, he never got laid. Blah blah blah. And then he came out, and I guess he gets paid to do all this.
Yes.
He's so big, and he's got so many followers that like this is his job.
He's like Fatality from back in the day, if you
Yeah.
remember that guy. He was like one of the first pro gamers that there was.
So he's not doing this almost like solely for a good time. He's actually sponsored. He's making money, and then why the hell not? I wish I could. I play video games by choice. If I could get paid to do it,
The thing is though that kind of gets me, and I mean I get it, but you know he's playing the same games over and over on different regions, on different consoles to pop the achievements multiple times.
Is that what he does?
So yeah, it's not. I mean, I'm not discrediting him. You know, it's a great achievement to hit 1 million gamer score, first person ever to do it. But it's like he's played like Batman,
like 3 times. Yeah, like
you
the
know.
Japanese Xbox, the European Xbox,
and
the
it's
Xbox,
like
then the
that-
Game of the Year edition.
when you find out about that, that takes just a little bit away from the overall thing.
Well, I mean, at a certain point too. I mean, you gotta figure that he's got to be running out of shit to play.
That's with the interview that they had in November with him. He was. That's why.
That's
he was
why I
waiting
think
for the
he's
Xbox
doing
One.
all those double and triple dips because I don't know. I mean, he's solely on the 360 until a couple months ago.
Mm-hmm.
Like on like now with the PlayStation camp, you got 3 ways to earn trophies.
Mm-hmm.
The Xbox until the One came out, you only had the 360.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, he doesn't play every game to completion. He doesn't get like the 1,000 every game.
Yeah.
Some games he does. But I think he goes
Like
for like
Avatar.
the easiest 80% and then moves on.
Yeah.
And you know, there's only so many arcade titles out there. There's only so many disc-based
Does he do
titles.
the arcade titles too?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Whatever will give him achievements, you know.
Really?
But he doesn't sit there and like play something until he hits all 1,000 and move on. He's like,
Okay.
well, I got 700 on this game. I'm done. Let's go on to the next game. So
So you
All
get
right.
stuck on a game for 2 weeks. And
yeah,
Still not
you can get pretty screwed. Time is points. Time is gamer score.
Tony's trying to stall so he can read the next
That's
news
right.
story.
Amazon Prime is raising their price from what was it, $59.99?
79.
$79.99 to $99.99 a year. But in their defense, this is the first price raise in nearly a decade.
Yeah, well, because it's been around for 9 years.
Do you have Amazon Prime?
I do not.
I
I don't
do.
buy enough stuff off Amazon for it to be beneficial to me.
That's why I was waiting to hear your thing last, sir.
Yeah.
First, I want to go us do.
No problem.
Because you're the only one that actually has it.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I don't buy enough stuff from Amazon to where it'll benefit me. I mean, yeah, I mean, everything goes up in price.
Mm-hmm.
It was only a matter of time. I mean, everybody's been raising their prices. Netflix rate grows theirs. I mean, shipping ain't free. That's
Yeah.
for sure.
It is if you have Prime.
For me, I'm in the same boat. I'm buying more and more from them. Like 2 years ago, I made like 1 purchase a year from Amazon.
Yeah.
Now it's getting to the point where I'm buying like something every 2 or 3 months from Amazon. If it gets any more frequent, I was actually going to jump on because of the free shipping. There's usually free shipping on Amazon anyway. You just have to wait. Like, you
An
know,
ungodly amount of time.
yeah, it never takes that
5
long.
to 8
though.
business days.
It never takes that long. Like, at least for me, they're like, yeah, it'll be there in a week, and then it's there like 4 days later anyway. But you can get 2-day shipping for free. You get upgraded. But the other benefit of it is like the Netflix ripoff, which is significantly smaller from what I understand.
Yeah.
Right.
But still pretty cool that they threw that on there. You know, all for like at the time was only $6 something a month. Now it's like 8 or 9, whatever it is.
I don't know. My Netflix is 12.
Oh, you have the 4-person thingy.
Yeah, because I've got a bunch of leeches.
I have that too. But yeah, I don't know. I was actually like on the verge of thinking about signing up, and now this thing's like.
But if
now
you
it's
sign
another
up,
20 now I'm even further away from
if you
justifying
sign
price.
if you sign up before they go up in price, you'll still only pay the $80
Yeah.
for the next year. So, if you're thinking about doing it, now's the
Jump
time
on
to
it
do
soon.
it. Yes. For me, I've started to use Amazon more frequently. I did all my Christmas shopping this past year on Amazon. I've even bought a new pair of shoes off of Amazon because I'm finding stuff so insanely cheap. I usually follow Gizmondo's deals. They do daily deals. And I buy a lot of smalls off there. So it's becoming worth the value. I did it because I did the sign up for the free month trial, and then I forgot to cancel it. So I could have canceled it and got back the rest of the money, but I'm like, the hell with it.
Yeah.
I'll let it run its course for a year and see how much I ship from it. And now with us, getting new gear and stuff, it's actually come in quite handy. The streaming service, I've used a couple of times. It's not bad. Along with that, though, you do get their book service, the Kindle. You get a bunch of stuff from that. You get a lot of crazy discounts on books and things. And then you get, even though I don't use it, which I should, but you get a lot of discounts on music.
Okay.
So, and then, along with that, to tag up on that, I think it's another one of our stories, but, Amazon's buying up video game developers and whatnot. So maybe the increase in Prime is
To
future-proof.
subsidize.
To future-proofing. Maybe they'll have some deal with games and things like that.
Speaking of that,
Window, that's cold.
next news story. The Amazon controller got leaked this week.
Okay.
And it looks an awful lot like a ugly 360 controller.
Which means it looks an awfully lot like a Wii U Pro controller. it's almost exactly what I said.
I said they're copying Xbox because they are.
Yeah.
But so did Nintendo.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it looks in that same vein. They even copied the Xbox letters on the keys. The one interesting thing is it has. If you picture the 360 controller, where like the mics plug in. If you haven't seen it yet, it's got 3 buttons down here: play, fast forward, and rewind.
Mm-hmm.
Which I'm assuming will help out with their console, which I'm guessing Jason's right with that, and that'll help you like when you're doing Amazon Instant, where you can skip. It'll be like your search functions down here or something. I
mean, it's ugly, but as long as it's functional and it's comfortable, I don't care.
I mean, I didn't think the Ouya controller looked half that bad. Like, I was like, it might work. You never know until you hold the fucking thing, and then I held it, and I was like, ooh, this is bad.
Like garbage.
This is a bad controller. I'm hearing a lot of people are complaining about the Steam controller. Like, people are picking it up. They're like, oh, no, we have faith in Steam. And then people are actually touching it, and they're like, ugh.
Is that thing, that's not available for retail yet, is it?
No.
No.
And then they actually just redesigned it, but I didn't put it in our top 5 stories because everybody's giving it shit. And this is the same thing. I mean, I won't know until I hold it. It looks okay, but it might just end up being another piece of crap.
Yeah. Might
feel like one of those knockoff 360 controllers. They never quite feel right.
Are you willing to give Amazon's video game console a shot?
Yeah, but I mean, I buy consoles that don't have games all the time, like the Wii U, for instance. So, I mean, like, if there's not a ton of games, but there's a couple cool ones, I'll give it a shot to try it out. I'm not going to let them burn me 3 or 4 times in a row. If the first console sucks from Amazon, they probably lost me forever.
Like,
yeah.
But exactly like that. Like, what else? What's Amazon going to do? Yeah, they're buying up
a couple studios.
Right, but honestly, they're just going to be doing pretty much the same thing as the Ouya. Plus,
I don't know.
This is supposed to be like a $300-400 console. I mean, you could look into something like, if all the third parties start going there, then they have a legitimate shot where they can. Amazon's like, I mean, they already have streaming technology. They could pose something very similar to what PlayStation's doing, PlayStation Now.
I was kind of thinking something along that mixed with a Steam box, kind of. Just a pure digital outlet for...
Amazon has their own games storefront already.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's all for playing on PC, though. You unlock the PC or the whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do. It's supposed to be $300, so it's not like another $500 or $600 investment.
But see, that's why I think it's a purely streaming device.
I heard it might be discless.
Yeah, that's kind of the rumblings that I'm hearing. But as long as it's got the AAA games on it, it might be a decent platform. Yeah.
I'll make a prediction here, for Andrew Dillon. Amazon will have a better online community on their first chance, on their first try.
That's a cheap one.
Than Nintendo's been able to do in 25 years in the gaming business. On their first shot, Amazon will destroy Nintendo Network. You heard it here first.
That's a cheap one.
How's that a cheap one? Nintendo should have this shit down by now.
That's like saying, Andrew Dillon, here's a prediction. Nintendo will release Mario in a new video game at some point this year.
All right. Next news story. Phil Spencer, he's one of the top dogs at Microsoft, has been quoted saying Microsoft will be more direct and honest. This is a pledge to the fans out there.
Or it's a play on words for DirectX.
The context behind it, of course, is all of the bad press that Microsoft's been getting since the second they announced the Xbox One, because
they didn't show any games.
yeah,
why.
people forget a short 8-9 months ago, Xbox was everybody's favorite. Everybody hated PlayStation, and I'm a PlayStation guy too. I love Play. I was the only one sticking up for him when we started this podcast.
I remember. I was like,
only one sticking up for him.
But whatchamacallit? So since the Xbox One got announced, exactly, they showed no games. Everybody already got pissed. Then they started to talk about the console. Everybody got even more mad. And then there's all these rumblings about the arcade and indie developers having more problems with all the release agreements that you have to sign with Microsoft. I guess Microsoft, like, if you release something on their console, they want a couple week exclusivity before you're allowed to put it on PS4 or PC. Yeah. Stuff like Trials. Look at Trials. Trials is finally going to be coming to PlayStation, and I don't know. I can't even think of something else right now.
Like Castle Crashers.
Castle Crashers! Stuff like that, yeah. They want it first. They want a couple months crack at it, then feel free to release it wherever you want. And these aren't Microsoft studios. These are like little 3-4-man teams, so they can't afford to say no. If somebody's giving them a deal, they're going to take it.
Right.
And then you had the cat at Sony, I can't remember his name this week. He came out and was making fun of Microsoft. It was actually kind of funny. He's like, here's the agreement that indie studios have to sign with Sony, saying how Sony gets the stuff first, and he held up a blank page, signifying that there's no bullshit to sign with Sony. So it was pretty funny.
Sony's the best at that.
They've been sticking it to him lately.
Yeah, like when they did the video. Here's how you share games on the PlayStation 4.
He just hands it over
Here
to
you
him.
go.
Thank you. What do you think, sir?
I think you're leaving. Here's the thing, though. Like, what hasn't Microsoft been direct about? I mean, they may have not done things that were favorable, but they've been pretty direct about it. You know, when they came out and said that you're not going to be able to share games, that's not an indirect statement.
They were shady about a lot of stuff when they announced the Xbox.
Because they said, "Oh, you can share it with your friends and family, but we're not going to tell you how." They didn't explain it. That was because I'm sure a lot of people would have been down with that. All right, cool. I can buy a game, share it with 10 of my friends. This is awesome. Everybody's going to do this. Instead, they
that's
didn't
still
explain
supposed
it.
to be coming.
And honestly, that was one of my favorite features of that.
Even the way they announced stuff, they were like, "Oh, it's going to be an always online connected device." Yeah. They didn't address that for like 2 months, and then they were like, "Yeah, it's only going to check in once every 24 hours and stuff." Like every single thing that they announced was like really just like standoffish.
Well, I mean, I know a little bit closer to the release, there was some miscommunication and everything, but I mean, I thought when they initially announced everything, I didn't see them being indirect about anything. They may not have.
It was just all unfavorable.
Unfavorable, I agree. You know, but I mean, I guess Okay.
My main problem with the initial reveal is, again, you're making a video game console.
Are they? You sure?
Xbox is a video game console.
You sure about that?
It is. From the beginning, it has been. If you don't show any games to your main audience who is going to buy this, then you're going to have a big problem.
That's what I didn't get. That's what bothered me so much about that reveal.
Yeah.
Was because, okay, there's 80 million 360 owners out there.
Yes.
Roughly, okay? Sure. 50 million of them are casual. They pick up Call of Duty, they pick up Madden, they don't really care. That other 20, 30 million are your hardcore audience that pick up 20 titles a year. Mm-hmm. Those were the guys that were tuning into your reveal.
In the middle of the afternoon.
Yeah.
I had a couple buddies over, we had some pizza, we had some drinks. It's like,
it's going to be great. This is going to be great. And then they fucked it up. That's who you were catering to. They're the people you got to get excited. Those are the guys that are going to go out and spend extra money to get the day one and buy all the crappy first run games and stuff. That's what we do. You know what I mean? And let everybody else know
They're still playing those first run
games.
games.
But those are the people that you have to get excited, not the people that are waiting for it to be $200 because of a couple price cuts, and then they're like, "All right, I'll finally upgrade." Yeah. You had to talk to us, not the people that are caring about TV. I don't know.
No, I get you.
It was weird.
It was. Hopefully this E3 will be better.
Nope. Jack Tretton stepped down. It's over.
For you.
Awesome E3s are over. Now they'll just be okay at best.
Honestly, I didn't think he was the greatest speaker.
Really? I love that fucking guy.
Reggie's going to come out in a Nintendo-themed thong with a Wiimote strapped to the front and just jiggle
it. I don't doubt it. Guy screams pedophile. Have you seen his face?
Tony hates Reggie. But I guarantee you, if Tony met him, he'd be like, "How you doing, sir? Nice to meet you."
No, I really wouldn't. I'd probably do that shit for like some of the other heads, but not. Other people at Nintendo, yeah, not Reggie. No.
Would you shake his hand?
Like Miyamoto or something? I'd be like,
would you shake Reggie's hand?
No. Get away from me, dude. I don't know where that hand's been.
Really?
He's a weird guy, man.
We're going to get a picture of Tony and Reggie one day. This is going to happen.
Photoshop us kissing and stuff.
I'm going to get a cardboard cutout of Reggie just to stand behind Tony.
I'll just start punching it randomly. All right. Last news story this week. The PlayStation 4 is getting a price increase in Canada.
Yeah.
A price increase.
Yeah.
Games and controllers are going from $60 equivalent in the United States to $65, and the system will be jumping up from $399 to $449.
Why?
They're saying it has to do with exchange rates. The Canadian dollar is plummeting over the course of the last few months, so it's worth less. So to make up for what the council's worth, you need more Canadian dollars to...
See, after I read this story, I actually looked up how much the American dollar was worth in Canada. We're only 11 cents more than what Canada's worth.
Well, the American dollar's not... It's healthy. It's not bad, but it's not where it used to be.
Oh, no. Not
but the problem is the American market is so big, we get to dictate whatever the hell we want. It's the same reason... Like, look at gasoline. Gasoline anywhere else in the world is ridiculously... Like, if we have any European listeners, chime in and explain to everybody how I'm right. Over there, it's like $7 a liter.
Yeah.
Which is nothing. And then we bitch when gas was a little over $2 a gallon. Now it's significantly more, but when it hit that $2 mark, people are like, "Are you fucking crazy?" And people in Europe are paying like 8 times that much money.
Yeah.
It's we actually have a lot of say on, like, economically on what we pay for stuff from goods from the rest of the world. It's like the American effect. So if Sony wanted to, they could use that same excuse in America, but it would cause too many problems. I don't think they will. Anyway, it's unfortunate for the Canadians, but I was thinking on a personal level, this is an excellent time for Microsoft to stick a little...
I was thinking that
too. I think Microsoft should do a $50 price decrease, a price cut, even if it's temporarily, not a permanent one, like a special 3-month promotion. Because Sony's raising their price $50, and if Microsoft gives a $50 price cut, there officially is no more price parity. And you only had to come halfway, because there used to be a $100 discrepancy, right, and you only have to take a $50 loss to get more Xboxes in the hands of Canadians. I don't know.
That's not a bad idea.
Okay.
I mean, they're doing it over in unofficial price cuts over in the UK.
Yeah, I was going
for Xbox.
I wasn't sure if you guys touched on this at all in
your
other shows, but I did hear that they were going to drop it $100 and you would get Titanfall with it. So at that point, it's the same price as the PS4 with Titanfall.
Yeah, well, I mean that's the North American bundle that we have now. It's
still a de facto. It's a de facto price cut
with Titanfall, but now certain retailers like GameStop have it where you get Call of Duty also.
They're just throwing Call of Duty in?
Okay.
Yeah. Don't quote me. I think it's GameStop. Certain ones are doing... It's either like just for the exact price or it's like $30 more. So you're still getting Call of Duty for half price.
And that comes out to even better deal than the PlayStation 4.
Oh, yeah.
The other thing I forgot to mention is...
And you get the camera included.
Yeah. That's the other thing I forgot to mention. The camera's getting raised too, but nobody can find them anywhere, so it really doesn't matter. For PS4 in Canada, it's a $5 increase. I don't. What do those cost? 50, 60?
70?
They're 60.
Are they 60 or 70?
So now they're 65. Okay. So
cool.
I thought it was interesting. A lot of people are fearing that this is coming to the United States, but I really don't think it will, because Microsoft won't follow suit, and there's no way. Find the system. The system is nothing. It's just people don't get that. They freak out over the system. The system is nothing to these companies. They want them in as many people's hands as possible. The software and accessories are where these companies make money. Mm-hmm. So they will not raise Microsoft's prices to 65.
No.
So Sony can't do it.
Because now, to my knowledge, isn't the Xbox One just like $9 profitable though? Wasn't that what they were saying?
It's barely anything.
It's barely anything. But I mean, they're profitable, so it would not be beneficial for them to raise the price. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they'd make more profit, but it's not. Yeah, I get.
Well, no, I didn't mean about the systems. I'm talking about the games.
Yeah, but I'm just saying in generally speaking, you know,
and controllers and stuff. I think this is a Canadian thing. This might happen in other smaller markets around the world where there's other price discrepancies, but the United States is quite safe.
They would never ever be able to pull that off. People would turn on them in a heartbeat.
Well, they all came out and said that games are staying at $60. Yeah. Both companies already verified that months ago. They can go back on their word, of course, but I don't think they're.
Well, hell, I mean, Microsoft has even said that digital games are going to start coming out cheaper. Mm-hmm. Just got to get that bigger hard drive.
Or the hard drive support.
Yeah. Well,
did you pick up a one?
Xbox One? I do not own one at the moment. No.
Just PS4.
Yeah.
PS4 Vita.
He owns some Xbox One games.
That's right. PlayStation dream.
He owns some Xbox One games, or he did.
I did. I sold them to Best Buy.
Good for you.
Yeah. Bought a TV.
That's it for news. That's all I got.
Well then, let me give this a little jiggle here so that'll stay going good.
Get a little jiggle.
Well then, I guess it's time for.
Alright. Oh god. Is it time for
Nick Koontz.
What's up, Nick?
He hadn't been around in a while. Welcome back. He said, so his question is, if Nintendo made another Zelda for the 3DS, would you want it to be top-down perspective like Link Between Worlds, or more 3D like Ocarina of Time? We're going to go ahead and say, like, we're not talking about like a Majora's Mask remake. We're talking about a brand new Zelda title for the DS. How would we want the game to play?
I'm a bigger fan of the top-down. Personally, if I listed my 3 favorite Zelda games, all 3 of them are top-down. And as you get further down my Zelda list, they start going into the more open world stuff. Like Skyward Sword and Wind Waker and stuff like that. They're at the tail end of the games I enjoy Zelda-wise. So I'm definitely for the top-down. But I don't think that's because I enjoy top-down more. I just think that's the way they make Zelda games. Because I love open-world games when they're done correctly. I just don't think Zelda does them as well as other games. I think Zelda's bread and butter is that top-down view. That's where they make their best games. It's their strong suit. So.
Okay.
See, I disagree. I enjoy the 3D games. I think growing up, the first one I played was obviously the original Zelda, but I didn't really enjoy a Zelda until I played Ocarina of Time.
Okay.
That was a great game, and if they put an original story on the 3DS that was done well with the controls that you could do with the 3DS, then, I mean, it could be pretty damn decent.
Yeah, because A Link Between Worlds is essentially A Link to the Past.
Yeah.
Story-wise. Very similar.
See, now, for me, I think with the handheld platform that the top-down view is the way to go.
Okay.
They could add some interesting elements, especially with the 3D effects, to be able to go into like almost like a behind-the-shoulder third-person view for maybe certain boss fights or something. That could be potentially like a hybrid of both. But I think the overworld would definitely have to stay top down the way it is, and then go into the dungeons and go into like.
We're gonna get a taste of that third person over the shoulder view. I think a little in Hyrule Warriors, sort of.
Doesn't count.
Well, we'll get a feel for what it kind of.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, if they did like a link between two worlds, is in one world you're top down, and then you're 3D third person. And
that
that
would
be interesting.
A little Sonic Generation style for Zelda.
Yeah, they could do that.
You pop back and forth.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a fan of both. For me, I don't care how I'm playing it. It's more about like the story, and I think that's kind of why I was turned away from Wind Waker, is because it took way too long to get into the story. I was just like, yeah, I'm done with this.
Oh, you couldn't be Ganon?
No, I'm not Wind Waker. Skyward Sword. Sorry, Skyward Sword. I hated that introduction. Like 3 hour. Like, we're in high school. We're like fucking Harry Potter.
I was gonna say Wind Waker gets started really quick. I was waiting for you to finish. I'm like,
not Wind Waker.
Sister gets stolen.
No.
Go get her.
You're off and running. I'm like I said, I'm a fan of both. I'd be okay with like a hybrid, but if I had to pick one for the handheld, I'd stay with the 3/4 isometric top-down view. That seems to be like, you know.
You're talking like Link to the Past?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what it's called.
I didn't know. That's why I was asking. I was like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Because it's not exactly top.
Yeah, I know.
It's, you know.
It's not Micro Machines top. It's over Mia.
Yeah.
Not so much Mia. A little bit more Mia.
Okay, so now we got a question from Andrew Dillon.
All right.
Andrew Dillon said, I'm going to re-ask you guys the first question I ever asked on the show to see if your opinions have changed.
Oh, shit.
His question was, what is the most overrated console and what is your most underrated console in your guys' opinion?
Overrated. N64.
Okay. We'll do overrated first.
Even
and we'll
when
come back and do underrated.
Even when it was relevant, it only had, in my opinion, a handful of good games. And now you look back on it, and they're even worse. Stuff that was like GoldenEye, that like revolutionized FPS is unplayable. For something to be truly that cherished, you have to look back at like NES or Genesis or something like that, where the games are still very fun, very relevant, play very well, and don't look that shitty.
See, and I'm not trying to jump in on it, but like the same can almost be said for the PS1 though too, because those are fucking horrible to look at.
But the PlayStation 1 had a lot more good games, and I think you could still go back and play a bunch of them. But I agree with the like aesthetically. Oh my god,
that
generation was like the grossest generation ever. Because you could, I don't care if you guys agree or disagree. To me, like an SNES game looks 100 times better than an N64 game.
Yeah, I will agree with you on that.
I don't know. There was less going on. Mm-hmm. But they perfected that 2D
look. And just a lot of it was more hand drawn and more vibrant colors and not as muddied. You can kind of make out the.
But it was a necessary step. We wouldn't have gotten where we were if the N64 and PS1 didn't do what they did.
All right, John. What's your most overrated console?
Overrated, man. We're gonna go with the GameCube.
Okay.
Oh, for overrated, really?
Overrated.
Okay.
You know, growing up, there was a lot of people that I knew had GameCube, so it was the greatest. You had your Marios, your Mario Parties, your Super Smash Brothers, but other than that, you really didn't have too much. Your Legend of Zeldas.
Even Sunshine was kind of weird.
Yeah.
Kind of?
Sunshine, Luigi's Mansion, I was a big fan of.
I think that would be a stellar remake for the team that just did the Wii with the Wind Waker HD. I think they should redo that one. But, give it a functioning camera. Because the camera was broken on the GameCube. I'm sorry to have cut you off. Go ahead, sir.
Oh, no worries. Sorry. But yeah. Most overrated. Didn't really have too much going on. You had to buy a separate online adapter. I mean, you did have for the PS2, but they eventually built that in. So, it was lacking.
And the only game that really supported the multiplayer was what, Phantasy Star? On the...
I believe... I want to say Mario Kart maybe did.
No.
One of the Mario Karts?
No, I don't think so.
I think Mario Kart DS was the first Mario Kart.
Yeah,
was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think the only thing that network adapter did was Phantasy Star.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly.
That's where that fucking, what the hell is it called? In Mario Kart, where you cheat with the weird hopping.
Yeah. Slide.
So I forgot that.
I know.
I can't think of the term right now, but that's where that came from, was because of the DS. Because somebody would have figured that out on GameCube had it been on GameCube.
I got you. That was a hard question.
I'm trying to remember. I don't remember what I originally said, but I know what I'm going to say now, and that's Dreamcast. Dreamcast was so overrated.
Overrated. With the 5 million sales it hit.
Yeah, overrated. Overrated. People hold that thing in such great nostalgia.
You're gonna hate my underrated. You're gonna hate it.
And is it because so many people hold it in great nostalgia that you think?
I think so. And I'm trying to go back and think of some of the stellar games that I played, Jet Set fucking Radio Future or fucking...
It's like Crazy Taxi, Blue Stinger. Those are fucking amazing.
I'd rather play Crazy Taxi in the fucking arcade where it's meant to be played.
I played Power Stone.
See?
I mean, the Sonic Adventure games, the first two were great.
I played them on GameCube.
Of course you did.
I did. You know why? Because the Dreamcast was already fucking dead by then. Okay?
It's your fault.
It's not my fault. It's not my fault. I didn't buy one, so it's not my fault. I don't know. I didn't like the controller. And I didn't care for a lot of the quote unquote great games for the system. Or fucking Space Channel 5 and fucking...
Some of the stuff was weird, like Seaman and shit like that, or Bassman or whatever the fuck it was called, but...
Yeah.
Seaman.
Oh, Seaman.
Seaman. They should remake that game.
Underrated. Sega Dreamcast. One of the most underappreciated games, or game consoles of all time. The thing did so much... I have a hard time, besides the 360 and the PS3, which totally upped the game for home consoles, I struggle to think of a console that did more for the industry than the Dreamcast. Brought online, built in, had its... Sega Network was the first thing, before Xbox Live, before PSN, before Nintendo Network. They started it.
And they had that with the Genesis, too.
Visual memory cards.
Their cable channel doesn't count.
Rumble adapters. They had 2K Sports, which was going head to head with everybody, and those were way better sports games.
They didn't start the Rumble adapter.
No, they didn't start it. The removable one.
Yeah, they didn't start that. Nintendo
removable?
Yeah,
wasn't it built in?
No, the Rumble Pack.
The Rumble Pack was built in, wasn't it?
No,
okay,
you
whatever.
had to plug it in.
Okay, sorry. One thing.
Yes. We don't ever have to do the Nintendo versus Sega debate. I just won because of the Rumble.
Yes, that's clearly whatchamacallit? The controller to me was very comfortable. I know you disagreed. The one thing I would have changed is where the wire came out. It was dumb to me that it came at the bottom.
I think that's a part of it.
But they had that nice little groove where it would slide in and go over there. The 4 players built in right away. You didn't have to get weird fucking extensions and adapters to have multiple people play with you.
64.
I didn't say it was the first one.
I know.
And to me, the game library was stellar. There was only 30 or 40 games ever made from it, and 20 of them are great. But that is going to differ from person to person. Yeah. So, to me, clear and away, the Dreamcast is underrated.
It was the first system where you didn't need any sort of mod chip to play pirated games.
It's true. Because they were silly bastards, and then didn't future-proof themselves. And then people are like, why do the Vita memory cards...
That's not entirely accurate. The NES.
Oh, yeah. And then people are like, why are the Vita memory cards so much money? Look at the Dreamcast. Sony doesn't want to become Sega. That's why.
Because they almost did with the Vita.
Look at the Wii. Look at the Wii. The lowest attach rate console ever. Mm-hmm. Because the few good games everybody could just steal.
Yeah.
That's why the Vita's memory cards cost so much money.
Mm-hmm.
Most underrated.
Most underrated, I would have to say it would be a Sony handheld.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. The Vita.
The Vita is very underrated. Can I do both? Can I do both of those? The PSP and the Vita? Because I think both of them were underrated. Sony handhelds.
You bought the fucking PSP the day it came out.
Yeah, I know.
I got my
shit. Trust me, I know. I own 2% of that.
I own 2 PSPs. But no, the PSP was a great system. Honestly, it was going head to head with the Nintendo DS at the time. Sony's first
Crack at the handles.
Yeah, and honestly, I think they blew it out of the water. Over time, it got better. I mean, those first run of games, with any system, that generation, the PS3 generation, you're just not gonna. I mean, they were shitty, but you got God of War on there, you got Final Fantasies, you got Metal Gear on there, Gran Turismo, pretty much everything. And it's like the graphics weren't PS3 quality, but it was barely PS2.
Yeah.
At some points, but it was in that mid range between. You saw the next gen in a handheld. Mm-hmm. You look at the Nintendo DS, you didn't have any of that in terms of graphics.
Still really down.
I don't think the 3DS has that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
the new Pokemon is pretty, but I mean that's Pokemon and Link Between Worlds, but that's look at what you're working with then too. That's not necessarily 3D, or that's not necessarily current gen graphics that they're pumping out either.
Right. And with all the, we did mention some of the piracy stuff with the Dreamcast. A lot of the PSP got a lot of that as well. If it wasn't for Monster Hunter in Japan, PSP wouldn't have done as well as it did. In the United States,
Monster Hunter.
Yeah, and honestly, because if you did ever get a PSP and you jailbroke it, you get the whole NES library, Super Nintendo library.
Or you'd be walking through Golf Mill Mall and turning off all your interactives.
That's right, man. You had the infrared sensor on there. You can make it universal remote.
Nice.
I had some good times with my PSP.
Not to mention, like they died fairly quickly, but they had the movies on the UMDs.
They did.
The PSP did quite a lot, man. Yeah. It was the first handheld to hook up online, wasn't it? Did it beat the DS out, or did the DS beat it out?
No, the DS beat it out. Except for Metroid Prime Hunters.
Yes.
Was, I believe, their first game out.
Yeah. So my most underrated.
Well, let him speak on the Vita.
Preach, brother. I thought
these people have got to be tired about me, because they hear me talk about how great the Vita is.
We already know he's one of the 8 people that own it.
Yeah, we're trying to get a 9th.
And as we all know about the Vita's history, it was first announced as the NGP.
Yes.
The NGP looked like the greatest thing ever, in my opinion. Had dual sticks, front screen, touch screen, back touch screen.
Everything you've ever wanted from a handheld.
Yes, and they showed Uncharted that looked gorgeous. Looked like you're playing a PS3 game on your Vita, handheld. Nothing's going to be more powerful than this. I was so stoked when I saw this. And not everybody felt that way. Not everybody still they don't feel that way. Still, it doesn't get the sales. Yes. Could they have had built-in memory? Yes. Do you have to pay arm and a leg for more memory? Yes. But it is worth it, especially now with the inclusion of PlayStation Plus, where you get half the library literally for free over time.
You don't have to buy a game. You could buy a Vita and that's it.
Yeah, Vita and a memory
card. Live off free games.
Yep. You could delete and re-download whatever you want. The system, and now with PlayStation Now, when that rolls out, the Vita's gonna get a lot more steam.
And it's still not gonna sell.
Yeah.
It's gonna they just keep adding value and the thing doesn't move.
I still won't buy one. But then again, I don't play my fucking 3DS, and I've had that. I got that on Christmas. I haven't turned it on in a month.
I haven't turned mine on in a month. I beat Zelda, and that was it.
Still haven't beat Zelda. Still haven't.
There's too many crappy games that people make a big deal about on it. They're like,
I'm still playing Pokemon.
This new game's coming out. It's like, that doesn't look good.
And another thing about the PSP and the PS Vita, I jailbroke my PSP, so I can play all that stuff. You can do that for the Vita.
I know.
I don't want to because of how good the Vita is. So
I was contemplating buying a second Vita just to jailbreak one.
Me too, but
because it'd be a better jailbroken, because the PSP is awesome. It's one of the best emulators ever.
You have the best emulator.
Yeah, the Xbox.
No.
Don't even say a computer. It's not. It's not. The Xbox, the original Xbox is the best emulator.
Except for that shitty controller.
That's like the best part. Not the fucking Duke, the redesigned one.
I fucking hate the Duke. I hate the Duke more than I fucking I hate the fucking Dreamcast controller.
Nobody likes the
Duke. What the fuck are those buttons down in the corner where your fucking palm is? It's true. It's true.
The black and white.
Yeah.
The black and white buttons. Yeah, those are fucking weird. Whatchamacallit?
Shut up, Ace.
Yeah, dude. It like now with the dual sticks and I'm the thing could clearly run PS1 games because it already does, and then you could just take any PS1 game you ever wanted and throw it on a Vita. Like, I was seriously contemplating it a few months
Honestly, the thing that's holding me back from it is like, yeah, I would do all that, but I don't need it. I don't need to have a handheld to do all that. I can sit at my computer.
You almost don't want to, though, because then you're going to miss out on all the PlayStation Plus games, because you're
like,
offline.
I've been downloading all the PlayStation Plus stuff because I still want to get a Vita TV down the line. Mm-hmm. That's more of a better deal for me than having the handheld.
Okay. Yeah, and of course that's another subject, the Vita TV, what you're going to be able to do with that, but we're talking about the Vita. The Vita. All right, so yeah, I mean, PlayStation Plus, added value, the remote play. I was playing Killzone on my Vita. Killzone for the PS4 on my Vita.
Mm-hmm. It's awesome.
Yeah. What are you people not getting?
I was playing my PS3 on my Xbox One.
Ooh.
Yeah. The Xbox One's slutty. It takes everything. It's just like, yeah, put it in.
And I didn't have any lag issues. I didn't when we were playing it.
I don't think you're gonna have extreme lag issues, but stuff I think like an FPS.
That's what we were doing. Battlefield.
Really? Mm-hmm. No problems, huh?
No.
Now, can you snap like PS3 with Xbox One and have to go in at the same time?
Mm-hmm.
Did you try that?
Yeah.
Any lag issues?
No.
Oh, wow. That's actually pretty
I said I tried WWE with the 360 just to make sure that I didn't really have any problems with it. You know. Anyways, we done sucking Vita dick.
This guy's always just so jealous.
No, I'm not jealous.
He is so jealous.
I've heard it all before.
No,
it doesn't do anything.
Does it all?
It's just all.
It only does everything.
It's just all fucking rim jobs.
It could.
Nobody cares because nobody's buying it.
They should care. That's the point.
All right.
But they don't.
Whatever. What's yours?
It's just so anticlimactic. What's yours? I gotta disagree with you, and I gotta say the N64. Just because that was one of the first consoles that you could kind of sit around with multiple friends and kind of play. It had more of that, like, everybody sit around and play games together feel. Granted, you had a couple previous systems that did it, but they didn't have the library. And I know you said that the library sucked on it, but the games that it did do that was multiplayer, like Mario Kart, even the older Mario parties were cool because they were new, they were different.
Oh yeah.
WWF No Mercy, being able to play that. Even some of the sports titles. It was just a good console for couch play. And, you know, at that stage, the age that I was, that's what we did. You know, and like a Friday night, we'd all hang out, we'd watch a movie and play some video games, order food and stuff like that. So I think for bringing people together in a even people who didn't play games would sit down and try to figure out how to play because like 3 other people are playing it. I'm like, all right, I'll give it a shot. So it had a lot of that like community feel to it.
And they did it very well with their games.
Yeah.
I mean, their games were simplistic enough where anybody could pick it up.
Yeah.
Honestly, you look at the Mario parties. I played, I can't even tell you how many hours I played Mario Party. Super Smash Brothers, one of the easiest games. I mean,
just mash
Mario
buttons.
Kart, everything. You know, granted they're all first-party titles.
Yeah.
But
well, I mean that's been Nintendo's MO for years, though. I mean that's been their where they stand. You know, but there are a couple of bigger name like I said third parties that like No Mercy was probably one of the best selling wrestling games and like the most nostalgic wrestling game ever. I don't care if you've never watched wrestling, you've played No Mercy at some point. It was horrible graphically. I tried playing it like a week ago. I was like, oh, it's horrible. So I completely agree with you on all that. That like anything from that age is terrible. But it's also the first foray into the 3D world that we got from Mario and Zelda and things like that. So I think that it deserves a little bit more.
Yeah, it really was. I'm glad they came out, both of them, the N64 and the PS1.
I remember when I first saw the poster for it at Toys R Us and I looked at the controller, I'm like, what the fuck is that? Looks like a spaceship.
That's the other thing. A lot of people love that thing. I never got used to it. Like, I played with it for the 5 years it was out. I never really...
Did anybody ever hold it like this?
For some games, yeah. For
I've never held it like that.
Certain games you didn't use the
thumbstick?
The jiggler?
I want to say for... I may be wrong, but for like No Mercy, the analog stick was only for your taunts.
Really?
If I remember correctly.
Stuff like that,
the Z button was to change who you were looking at. So you could tap it from holding it in the normal formation. I think the one controller that I never really got accustomed to was the GameCube, actually, because I never liked the triggers. They sunk in too far.
They were weird.
Yeah.
But it was also cool. It was like a look into the future with how they designed that. With I don't know, like the C button was never a true second analog, but it was pretty close. It was.
Were they the first ones to do analog with the N64?
What do you mean?
The analog stick.
A second one or just analog? Analog was Atari.
Well, I meant, but like to bring it back. Like, you know, because
it had a bit
because PlayStation didn't do it until they released the DualShock 1, which was a couple years after.
A couple years into the PS1.
Into the PS1. But I think the N64 had the little...
Yeah, they were probably the first ones to bring it back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, and that's our news for the week, which brings us to one of our new favorite segments.
My absolute favorite segment.
Is it?
Yeah, I love this.
Andrew Dillon provides
do you watch the show here and there?
With some,
you know Andrew. Yeah.
Some bullshit facts from the past 100 episodes.
I love it.
Awesome.
What bullshit?
We are on episode 36 from October 2012. Predictions.
Nice.
Starting with Tony here. Tony runs his mouth a lot.
I do. I do it every week. I just give him.
Tony says that the Wii U will sell amazingly well, as people will pick it up. Even though they're going to hate it. How'd that work out for you?
That hurts.
I think most of the people that picked it up hate it. I think I'm halfway right.
Old jokes. Mark hates Nintendo.
He really does.
Bets. We're on to the bets part.
Nice.
Tony bets that all his hardcore gaming friends will get the new Xbox. So Tony will get all his third-party games on the new Xbox. PS4 will be for exclusives.
I still don't know which way I'm going with all that. A lot of my friends do... Ooh, nice. With 10 seconds left.
Anyways.
I don't know, because a lot of my friends didn't jump on next gen yet. Jason has Xbox.
Mark has PS4.
Mark has PS4.
Brian doesn't count.
The only other guy that I play video games with pretty regularly is my best friend Scott, and he got a PS4, but he's getting an Xbox in a week or two, whenever. He's putting together the money now because he wants to grab it for Titanfall, so I still don't know. The way things are leaning with all the news that's popped out, since I have both platforms already, I might as well get them on the PS4 because they're going to look better. And it's the same price, and I already have both consoles, but we'll see. I don't know yet.
Tony was very tired during this episode, as it was his birthday the next day, and he had been partying and getting white boy wasted.
Yes.
With an infinite amount of beers.
White girl wasted.
This was the first episode where it was just you and I, no Mark. Which is kind of weird because here we are again with no Mark.
We'll come full circle.
I had said that I wanted John Travolta from the 90s as Marcus and Dwayne Johnson as Dom in the Gears of War movie that was announced.
Who did I select?
Tony says that Gears of War movie will be dog shit.
Probably.
This was the second Nintendo topic of the week ever, and Mark misses this one too, so Mark is 0 for 2. I agreed with Tony that Kirby's Epic Yarn was not childish and was actually a really good game, even though I know I teased him about it quite a bit.
I like that game. I stick up for it all the time. I don't go fuck.
Mark was not on hand for this episode, so there was no tournament. But I came up with something in the interim. That was Borderlands 1 characters versus Borderlands 2 characters.
Okay, I remember this.
We got Roland versus Axton.
Roland.
Tony and Jason both go with Roland.
Because he's better.
Then we have Zero versus Mordecai. Both guys go with Zero solely based off what they have seen Andy do with both characters.
That is his class.
According to Jason, Maya versus the new chick.
Can I say something?
Go ahead.
Okay. For all the people that are wondering, and I'm not going to tell you where or when or how or anything like that, but in our Titanfall launch party.
I've kind of hinted to some people that
Angry Andy is there
several times,
and he is on camera
several times.
We're gonna leave it at that, though.
Yeah.
He's there.
I told them if they can find him, take a scrotshot of it and send it to me. I'm sending stuff out this week, actually.
Are you okay? Yeah. I got to do that too.
Tim's going to the post office, so
I got to do that shit too. I really do.
Now that I have free time, if you can find Angry Andy in our Titanfall launch video, and it can't be anybody who was there, obviously. If you can find who he is and send me a screenshot of him, I will send you a Humble Bundle Steam code.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Because he's never appeared on camera,
and he never will. Again, I'm just saying. If you've watched that entire video, now you have seen him. Mm-hmm. You just don't know who he is.
Yeah. They should see a lot of familiar faces, and he's definitely the only hint I'm gonna. He's definitely around those familiar faces. Yeah. So.
Don't even do it like that. Don't even do it like that.
Back to this. According to Jason, Maya versus the new chick. Because we didn't. What is the?
I still don't know.
I don't know.
New chick it is.
Maya was the new chick. Okay. So what was the chick's name from the first game? I don't know.
The red hair girl, right?
Either way, both guys go with the new chick.
Because the chicks suck.
Brick versus Salvador. Jason goes with Brick. Tony goes with Salvador.
Salvador looked cool, but he really wasn't that cool. In retrospect, I would have went with Brick.
Yeah, Brick was.
Salvador looked badass when they first announced him. I'm like, ooh,
that great.
This could be sick.
Great.
Kind of tool.
Yeah. And that's our BS facts for the week.
All right. That'll do it for episode 110. Thank you for tuning in, guys. Catch us next week, same time, same place.